문학가 중에서 우리나라만큼 분단을 아프게 겪은 그 동족 상잔의 그 아픔을 가장 절절하게 겪은 나라는 우리나라뿐입니다. 이 말은 곧 분단 문학이 세계 어느 분단 국가보다도 우리나라 문학이 앞섰고 가장 드라마틱하고 가장 참담하고 가장 비극적인 요소를 우리 문학에 가지고 있었습니다.
During the past half century, many writers expressed the pains and devastation of the Korean War through numerous literary pieces. And those pieces were able to give consolation and strength to the Korean people. The Korean War did leave a deep wound in our national history. However, it helped our literature grow externally, and it was also a wit that brought about our inner maturity.
At the 38th parallel, the demilitarized zone begins. Since the demilitarized zone was made, the two Koreas have grown apart from each other with time. The division of the South and North worked as one of the most unique aspects of Korean society and has had a powerful effect over its economy, politics, and culture. Since the national division holds such an important meaning in Korean society, it has also been one of the most essential themes of Korean literature. It has also played a big role in the flow of the literature as well. War literature boomed in the 1950s. Writers who went through the experiences of the war wrote vividly about the personal, emotional, and physical wounds they suffered during that time. In the 1960s, war literature began to wane, and writers who had gone through the war during their childhood started to write about the war from a more objective viewpoint.
그러다가 1960년 4.19를 맞은 뒤에는 전쟁의 원인, 남북한이 왜 괜히 싸웠느냐, 이게 우리 민족의 비극이고 남북한을 똑같이 비판하는 일종의 이데올로기적인 접근이 4.19 뒤 1960년 이후에 이제 등장하기 시작합니다.
Chae In-hoon's The Square was a representative work of that time. Its main character realizes the disillusionment he had with his native country, gives up leaving for a neutral state, and kills himself. With this piece on top of the list, the literature of the division of Korea enters a period of change once more. In the 70s and 80s, literature of the Korean division becomes more active, and writers delve into aspects of the division. Literary works especially focus on the pains of the victims of the national division. Writer Ho-cheol wrote novels that provide the most truthful depictions of the pains resulting from the division. He is known as a major literary writer of the Korean division and has written about the ideological sorrows of those times.
나는 이북에서 혼자 올라왔어요. 18살 때. 그러니까 나는 문학의 소재는 그거 있을 수밖에 없어요. 고향을 벗어나고 말하면 자기가 아닌 타의에 혼자 부모 다 버리고 혼자서 떨어져 나와서 남쪽에서 살아가는 나 자신의 이야기. 이게 이호철의 문학이죠.
Based on his own experiences, Ho-cheol started writing his works from the mid-50s. Through the specific images of those who crossed over to South Korea, he describes the incomplete life that the division brought. He expresses the tragedy of the division and the need to overcome it in a style that touches our minds. As a result of the division, he lost his loving family. Because he has experienced the tragedies of war, though, he has won high praise even from abroad.
멕시코에 방송을 하는데 당신 앞에 앉은 내가 220km밖에 안 되는 거리인데도 불구하고 50년 동안 끊겨서 여기로 치면 멕시코로 치면 꼬르마하고 과다나라 그 사이에 휴전선이 막혀서 3시간이면 갈 거리를 50년 동안 막혀서 그렇게 살고 있다는 거 알겠느냐 그러니까 아주 놀라더라고요. 그리고 대뜸한테 그런 놈의 나라가 세상에 어디 있느냐. 바로 그것은 이제 내 소설도 소설이지만은 나 자신이 그런 아주 이산가족의 절절함을 갖고 있다는 것을 생동하게 그 사람들이 느끼니까 15분 요즘했던 걸 40분 하더라고요.
From the 80s, he discussed how we can heal our personal wounds, how the two Koreas can unite, and how the people on both sides of Korea can return home. The representative work of this shift in awareness is People of the South, People of the North.
남북 관계의 이제 통일의 마당으로 들어설 때 우리가 제일 유념하고 명심해야 할 것은 사람됨이다. 사람됨. 정말로 맑은 마음. 이를테면 자기 속 생김이 없이 정말로 북쪽에 사는 사람하고 같이 정말로 먹고 같이 고생하고 같이 살 수 있는 그런 자세. 이렇게 그 사람됨이 가장 중요하다 하는 쪽의 메시지가 바로 이 남녘사람, 북녘사람이에요.
This wall of division has existed for more than 50 years. The literature of the national division in the 80s entered a period of change. As people looked into the historical problems of the Korean War, they turned their eyes to unity. The representative writer of this period is Jo Jung-nae and his piece Taebaek Mountain Range, which also played a big role in those times. Taebaek Mountain Range describes the changes in status, society, and the economy during the period between the liberation of Korea from the Japanese colonial rule to the outbreak of the Korean War. And it tells us that the Korean War is a historical event we must overcome. In the 1990s, the literature of the division of Korea focuses on the meeting of the South and the North and concentrates on finding clues to their unity. The reasons for the division of Korea must be clarified objectively and be overcome. The literature of the national division is the standard for criticizing this historical event.
Frankly speaking, aside from the fact that South and North Korea are of the same nation, they might have more differences with each other than they do with any other countries. The only thing between them is a division border, but they are more apart from each other than from anywhere else in the world. And that distance will not get closer unless the two countries are united. Literary pieces that handle the themes of division of Korea remind us of the importance of unity and how we should go toward it.